Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Social MBA with Megan and Frank. And I am Frank, and
I am Megan.
thank you so much for jumping on another episode. We are super excited, and I think you are really going to, I was about to say really get off on this topic. I don't know if that's the right terminology.
Yeah, definitely not the right terminology.
Be excited. Yeah, okay, be excited, enjoy. I don't know.
Yeah, definitely be excited and enjoy it, but if you're getting off on it, that's your own choice, I guess. Marketing is pretty sexy.
Am I going to have to put an explicit rating on this? I don't think so. But no, we've been going back and forth about something to talk about, and I think this is really going to be interesting. And we are going to discuss you don't need experience to be a marketer.
Yeah, I think this is kind of a hot button issue for me, to be honest, because I meet a lot of people in the marketing space, and I see some of them have strong experience and backgrounds in marketing, and some of them don't. And I think that's, and we talked about, marketer to marketer, when you start kind of having that conversation and kind of sniff testing them to see what they're made of and see if you believe in their marketing approach. Experience is actually one of the questions that I try to allude to and ask people about their background or how they got into marketing and try and figure out a little bit about if they're capable or if they're competent in the channel.
Said something that gets to me. You just said something that gets to me.
Ooh, what's that?
Background. I don't know. So much has changed these days. People that have experience, some of them, don't have a job because they were horrible at it. I worked for this big company. I did this and I did that, and they were horrible.
Mm-hmm.
We're beginning to really wonder if you can even trust resumes anymore. So,
I don't ask for someone's resume, but I think it's interesting. If you ask about their background or experience or how they got, talk about their journey just a little bit. I think you find out very quickly how someone approaches marketing and what their experience has taught them. People that answer that question well, typically, sometimes they talk about the businesses that they've worked for. Sometimes they talk about the jobs that they've had. But typically, there's always kind of a storytelling element to it, which is, where did you come from, or how did you learn about marketing, and how does that, translate into what you're doing now? And maybe that's what I mean by background. It is learning more about you and your experience and how that makes you, better at your business, or why that makes you tick.
I understand that. But, you and I really do differ on this. I don't think you need experience being a marketer. And my cousin would roll over. Well, she's not passed away, but she has been the head of marketing for some of the biggest organizations out there. And I was in sales. So, a lot of times sales and marketing butt heads, but I got to see a lot of bad marketing, and I've got to see a lot of good marketing. So I'm doing marketing now, but it's digital marketing, and I think digital marketing has changed the entire landscape. So I didn't have experience as a marketer, yet I've had success. And you have a different story.
Yeah, I started my career in marketing and advertising. Picked it super young, basically all through high school, college, thereafter, all the jobs in marketing and advertising. And that's how I got to where I am today. And it really, truly taught me growing up in that environment, learning about it from different angles, watching it change over time, really gave me an understanding of how it works, why it works, and how to use it for good or evil.
So do you think that maybe a lot has changed. A lot has changed between traditional marketing and digital marketing. And do you think a lot of things have to be unlearned as far as traditional marketing? People really now looking for maybe out-of-the-box solutions? The internet has just opened up so many different approaches that you can take.
I think that you have to be savvy and adjust and agile so that you continue to learn what capabilities are out there and truly how to connect with your audience. So, you could be a marketing dinosaur because you don't know how people connect with each other and how they engage with each other anymore. And that has been a huge development. Connecting.
What, isn't that like sales?
Sales, definitely, yeah. Sales has a connecting component. You have to connect with your audience.
Yeah.
Same thing with advertising. You have to connect with them.
And I agree. So maybe coming from two different backgrounds and having strengths in certain different disciplines, I was very strong in sales. You started off in marketing, and a lot of times sales and marketing didn't really talk to each other. And salespeople always said, "Oh, the marketing doesn't understand what the clients, our customers want. We're on the front lines." And marketing was basically saying, "Hey, this is what we think doing all of our research that our target market wants. So we're just going to push it out to the sales force." And
I think it's a conversation. It's not one person's pushing out a message and the other one doesn't agree with it. It's all part of the sales process. And I think that the sales guys have an idea of what their specific audience when they get them or what works in that situation. And marketing's talking to the masses. Yeah, you have to make some assumptions and you have to generalize a little bit more when you're talking about mass versus one-to-one. Mm-hmm. But they combine, right? They talk to each other. It's not just sales or it's not just marketing. It's a collaboration.
It is.
And you come from the sales background. I come from a marketing background. I never had sales experience. Unless you consider waiting tables.
You did have sales experience. We're all salespeople. That's the thing. You told somebody about a great movie that you liked, and you just sold them on it, or a great dish at a sushi restaurant. I love sushi, so I had to bring it up. At a sushi restaurant, and you just sold them on that. So, we're all in sales. People don't think. They're like, "I don't like sales,"
Well, that's just convincing people. That's having a convincing argument. Compelling.
Okay. All right. So, you feel as if you do need to have experience to be a marketer.
I think with marketing, you have to have experience. It depends on what level, but I think that building experience with the different channels and with how audiences react to different messages is really important to future success. And it's a learned process, and building that experience really helps your marketing in the future. And if you don't have that experience, it's really hard to create something from nothing.
I agree. I was just thinking, so what in the world does marketing have to do with sales? Marketing, especially in the digital age, is just to drive inbound traffic, to the company, to the client, so that they can convert these sales. So, okay, so I did my job. That's it. Done.
Mm-hmm.
I'm an SEO person. I did SEO. I put the right keywords, the right content out there, and I drove people to the website. So what in the world do I need to know? Hey, I'm a good marketer now.
Well, I think that's a part of the process. It depends. If you want to specialize in one specific area of marketing or one specific tactic, then yeah, becoming an expert in keyword research and traffic generation, that's one aspect of it. And you could be, experienced or just learning that channel thoroughly will help you do that. But when you talk about marketing, it's more than just SEO. It's more than just driving traffic to somewhere. It's the whole process down to the sale. And if you just focus on, we've talked about this before, if you just focus on one aspect or one channel of that, then yeah, you're probably not the best marketer because you don't look at it holistically. You only do your part, and then you pass on the rest of it. And in our environment these days and how customers engage with companies and their purchase cycles and behaviors and patterns are not, as linear as they used to be. So being a marketer and being an SEO specialist, you have to have some understanding of the rest of the process to be really, truly effective at your job. Because you could drive a bunch of traffic to a website, but if that traffic isn't well qualified, or if they don't care about the product, or they're not a good fit, they don't have enough money for it, or they don't even want that service, then that traffic doesn't really mean anything.
Good point. What I see here is an evolution happening. I think marketing and sales, like you said, are not so linear anymore. Marketing sales are the lines are getting blurred. And when you combine marketing and sales, you know what you get?
What?
Males. Yeah.
Oh! Males?
I had to
like
get that. Like
men, or is in
yeah.
male, like direct
No.
male?
Yeah, come on, SALES, MALE, male. Okay. Oh my gosh, did you really ask that question, MALE?
I'm not looking at the words.
Amaze me. You're funny.
Well, I did direct mail for a long time too. Maybe it all comes back down to mail. I got kind of excited.
Direct mail. Okay, that's an interesting concept. I guess I'm thinking. I'm sitting here thinking. Okay, what did you learn from starting in marketing? I'll tell you very quickly what I learned because it's very easy.
Yeah.
I learned what not to do.
That's experience, right?
Yeah, that's what I learned. It's that simple.
But you learned that outside of a marketing environment.
Right.
How did you learn that?
Well, I can't mention a name, but if you go to my LinkedIn profile and look at the companies I work for, anyway, it became the company was very well established, was a leader in their space, and it was assumed that the customers or prospects would want these products. So it was literally pushed out. So I would arrive at this office, and I'd have this client saying, "What in the world did you guys send me this crap for? I don't want this." And I'd spend hours packing it up and shipping it back. And we tried to say, not everybody wants this product. But marketing never listened. They're like, "Oh, we're a market leader, so we're going to send it to them, and they're just going to adopt it, or adapt to it, and they're going to use it." Or, coming out with bobbleheads that had the product name in it. I love the bobbleheads. They're actually ceramic and really nice.
Oh, wow.
Really nice. I kept a few. So, but I had all the time, clients were like saying, "Are you serious? How much money did you guys waste on these bobbleheads?
Yeah.
And I was just like, and I got so sick of it as a salesperson because, we talked to the customers, we relayed the concerns to marketing, yet it was almost like it was what's that saying? $1 too late, day short, something like that, whatever. It was too late. It was like everything was already made up, things were already put in place, and it was money down the drain. And that really frustrated me. So that's what I learned, what not to do, and say, okay, how do you listen to the client and then deliver, I guess, marketing materials that would speak to their needs. So that's how I learned it. And
I think
what's
that's
your
a
story?
good point. Oh, gosh, my story, I started in advertising and marketing, and I learned all about the different channels. I learned how to use them. I learned how to talk to audiences relevantly in each channel. I learned about, even sales or marketing process, learned about connection and collaboration between them. But I think the biggest thing that I learned is really understanding the environment and understanding what are the tools in my toolbox that are appropriate for this situation. And I think that the marketing that you experienced were tools that were being incorrectly used or they weren't needed by the customer. So, how do you, and this is maybe just my philosophy on marketing. This is, through my experience, what I've learned is you always have that customer-centric approach. And you always look at what is your client need or your customer looking for. And if your marketing is not delivering the right message in the right way, in the right place, then it's not being effective. So the more you learn about the tools that you have at your disposal and how to use them so that you are driving the right message in the right way to the right audience, it makes sense. And then your marketing becomes better for it. So, do I need to go through years of marketing and the experience with the different campaigns? I think it's a more efficient way of getting to be a good marketer, but is that the only way to be a good marketer? No. I'll agree with you on that. But if you don't look at things holistically, or if you don't understand a strategic background to something, and you just do things, even as the SEO person, you could be spending your life in SEO and creating up brilliant SEO campaigns, but that doesn't make you a good marketer, right? It just makes you good at SEO.
Right.
And even that, you could be bad at SEO.